Watch this. First time ever. Taking off the DJI Mini 2 with the Smart Controller. Gosh, I love this drone. It is so quiet. Hey YouTube, it's Dave from DroneReviewsAndNews.com, and we got a great firmware update today that does something phenomenal. It adds Smart Controller access to the DJI Mini 2. Now there's some important steps you've got to follow to get it right, so stick around, we're going to walk you through it. Okay guys, welcome back. So if you're like us, you absolutely love the DJI Smart Controller. It's got a super bright screen that's like a couple of times brighter than most smartphones that are out there. It's automatic, it will adjust to the light if you want to. It's got super incredible frequency strength as far as connecting to all the drones. We use it for the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic Air 2, and the Mavic Air 2S, and we're just stoked that we can now use it with the Mini 2 as well. There's nothing better than when you're traveling or heading off on assignment, but mostly traveling for long periods of time, to be able to pack multiple drones, but just one controller in the bag. It makes packing that much easier, it takes up less room, and you're going to be so much better equipped. So I'm just going to get started here and just get the controls here, the control sticks for the Smart Controller in there. Now, initially, what most people would think they have to do is they see the updates available. Perfect, grab the Smart Controller, grab your Mini, and get the two connected. But you actually have to do it sort of a logical step sequence. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to connect your Mini 2 with its original stock controller. Once you do that, you're going to see there's a firmware update available that enables Smart Controller access. So the first thing you're going to do is update the firmware in the Mini 2 using the DJI Mini 2 stock controller. You have to do it in this order. There's no other way to do it. So once you do that, you connect the two, you're going to see in the DJI Fly app that there's an update for the Mini 2. If you click on the details, you'll see add Smart Controller access. Perfect. Once you're done that update, then you jump into the Smart Controller. Make sure you've turned this controller and the DJI Fly app off in your smartphone, and you've disconnected from the Mini 2. You've powered it off. Jump over to your Smart Controller, pair it with your Mini 2, and you're going to see that there's an update for the Smart Controller that will now let it talk to the Mini 2 drone. Do that update, and you're going to be able to do something like this very soon. Okay, so now that we've got the Smart Controller updated, we've got the firmware in the Mini 2 updated, this is what you're going to be able to do. We are already in the Smart Controller. I'm just going to quickly power up the Mini 2. I'm going to hit connect, and it actually opens the DJI Go 4 app first for aircraft management. And when I click on Mini 2, it starts beeping. So we're going to hold this down for 4 seconds, the power button. Boop, boop. There we go, and it's now linked with the Smart Controller. There's the name, DJI Mini 2. Now DJI Go 4 hands it off to the DJI Fly app, and we're going to be good to go. There we go. And we're going to go fly. And we're just going to wait a couple of minutes, well, not a couple of minutes, wait a few seconds for some GPS here. There we go. 17 satellites, that's pretty impressive. And I'm just going to go through a couple of my settings just because we have done a firmware update. I always like to look at what's been thrown back to default. Sometimes that can affect. And it looks like the Mini will not let you record the original video and photos to the Smart Controller yet. And that's likely because it doesn't use OcuSync 2.0. But we're just going to take off here. Watch this. First time ever. taking off the DJI Mini 2 with the Smart Controller. Gosh, I love this drone. It is so quiet. Look at that. Just spectacular. You've got great signal as well. So people always ask me, what is it that I love about the Mini 2? Yeah, we're just gonna fly this back here. Or sorry, not what I love about the Mini 2. We get lots and lots of questions about the Smart Controller. And we bought the Smart Controller as part of the kit with the Mavic 2 Pro back in 2019. And Mavic 2 Pro is just such a workhorse of a drone. We love the 20 megapixel stills that we get, but it's also such a solid drone in wind, excellent battery life. But we've always preferred, let me just land this guy here. Okay, so the number one thing well, there's more than one. The top things we love about the Smart Controller is, first off, the screen. It's brighter than any smartphone screen you're gonna have in direct sunlight. Like sun's at my back. There's absolutely no glare effect or loss of me being able to see that screen well. The second thing is you power it up and you connect. That's all you have to do. The biggest complaint we have, and this goes way back to when the Spark drone was released, when you start having RCs with smartphones and you've got a plug that goes into the RC and then the wire goes and plugs into the phone, you've got two ports that you've got to worry about. And you've got a cord sometimes that you can get damaged or even get lost or left behind. So with this, doesn't matter which drone we're flying, the Pro, the Air 2, the Air 2S, or now the Mini 2, there's nothing that we're going to break or damage as far as plugs, cords, or connection goes. And that matters a whole lot because there's been a ton of times in the past, you've got other family members that see one of your cords and they'll go scoff it and take off. You don't know it's gone, you take off with your flight bag and boom, next thing you know you can't fly. We love the built-in storage on the Smart Controller, love its battery life, and like I said, if you're going to go traveling on vacation or specifically go get some drone shots, with the drone bag that we use, we can fit all 3 drones inside this bag, as well as the Smart Controller. And when we fly in airlines, it doesn't count as a carry-on. It's small enough that it can be the additional personal item. And that's one of our best travel tips is don't put your drones in your carry-on. Use a small backpack that just fits that small personal item dimension and take that online or take that on the airline with you. Okay guys, we love the Smart Controller. Now you can fly it with the Mini 2. This was a pretty quick update, honestly. But let us know in the comments below, are you guys going to get the Smart Controller for the Mini 2? Or are you now willing to buy the Mini 2 since you already had the Smart Controller, or because it's now available with the Smart Controller? Also, hit that like button. Helps others to find our content. Hopefully it's useful to people. And be sure to subscribe. We've got lots more content coming, especially now that we can fly the Mini 2 with the DJI Smart Controller. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.